Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at Lucid. Saudi Arabia keeps betting big on Lucid stock. So it looks like Saudi Arabia, the investment fund, is still making a lot of investment into the Lucid stock. Now this is good because we do suspect a buyout. But I always confirm that I'm not guaranteeing a buyout. And if there isn't a buyout, it's not a bad thing. Because at the end of the day, what matters most is that it's quite obvious that there's something going on. They're investing rapidly into Lucid because they want majority shares in the company. They want majority votes. So perhaps what they're trying to do is to keep the company as public as possible, also by owning as much shares as possible, essentially allowing them to get the best of both worlds. So Saudi Arabia increased its Lucid stock holding by 9% last quarter. That was at the end of 2022 last year. That was October, November, December. Now last month there was a speculation that the nation would completely take over the automaker, and that speculation is still rampant. That's still a possibility. It is still popular amongst people, I would say. So also in January, Citi placed a buy rating on Lucid stock. Now this was big. This got a lot of headlines. Saudi Arabia increased its stake in electric car maker Lucid by 9%, the SEC filing disclosed yesterday. This news comes amid speculation about the Middle Eastern country completely taking over the EV maker. So in the fourth quarter last year, the country public investment fund bought nearly 200 million more shares of Lucid stock. That's wild, bringing its total position of the automaker to 1.1 billion. The purchases increased the fund's stake in the EV maker by 62%. Lucid is still by far the largest holding in the PIF, that's the Saudi investment fund, and the recent purchase of Lucid make it up to 25% of the fund's portfolio. The fund also recently increased its stake in the second largest holding, Activision Blizzard. Yet Activision stock only made up 9% of the fund's portfolio, and it's owned just 5% of the video game maker. So what about the rumors of the takeover? Last month, the business news website Betterville reported a rumor that Saudi could seek to acquire all shares of Lucid stock that they did not already own. There was also speculation that the country's investment fund had already recruited JP Morgan to work on such a deal. The fund invested $1 billion in Lucid in 2018 before the automaker's share was publicly traded, and in April 2022, the Saudi government announced it would purchase 50,000 EV from Lucid. The country intends to buy 1,000 to 2,000 EV annually from Lucid. So those are the rumors of the buyout. That's what we know so far. So they're continuing to invest into Lucid, so their interest is to continue to invest in Lucid, which is good. Is there a buyout still on the horizon? Well, only time will tell. But I always said if there's not a buyout, there's something happening. Now we know what's been happening. They're buying a lot of shares. Last quarter, 2 million shares to be exact. So that's not a little thing. That's a big deal. It's increasing their position, and it's showing that they believe in this company. It's showing that they want to invest in this company despite what the West might believe. So as of yesterday market close, Lucid stock soared 51% so far this year. However, the automaker shares is still down 64% compared to last year, and it has slumped 10% in the previous 5 trading days. So on January 23rd, Citi resumed coverage of Lucid stock with a buy rating. The firm is upbeat about the company's technology and product positioning. Now, on the other hand, where do Citi align? Where do they compare? What do they believe? What do they think about Lucid right now? What's their position on this company? Well, Lucid lack of brand strength and tremendous competition. And I've spoken about this before. The fact that what Lucid is doing is no different from what Tesla did in 2012, 2013 when they launched the Model S. It was an expensive vehicle, high performance vehicle at that, in fact. Now for one, Tesla also struggled a lot. They really did. I remember times when they just continue reporting that Tesla would fail. It was hard to find anyone who believed in Tesla. It was like you throw a rock and it was impossible to find someone who believed in Tesla. It's not like today when you go on the internet, when you go online, you go on YouTube, there's so many people who believe in Tesla. It's not like today. 7 years ago, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, it was completely different. a decade ago was completely different for Tesla, completely different experience. So Lucid is experiencing some of that harsh reality right now. Starting with expensive vehicles, not always the best thing to do. But here's one of the things. Tesla had a lack of competition when they started. Lucid has a lot of competition right now. There are so many alternatives, not just Polestar, not just Mercedes, Audi, BMW, Tesla, NIO. There is so much competition right now. If they want to sell more vehicles, they'll have to build a vehicle that is of the cheaper demand. They've got to build a vehicle in the 40,000 area, 35,000 area. But Lucid is keen on being a luxurious brand. The problem is, supporting yourself while being a luxurious brand is damn near impossible. Tesla's idea was always to be a strong brand that build a lot of vehicles. Like Apple is a strong brand that builds a lot of phones and a lot of computers. But their brand strength is important because Apple rarely lowers their price. They don't really do it. They never lower their price. And that's your price is your value. If you never lower your value, you'll never lower your price. Look at the difference with Samsung. Great phone maker, but they continue to lower their price, which in turn lowers their value. So I'm afraid people will never look at a Samsung and find it as valuable as an iPhone, because it's typically, you find a lot of cheap Samsung phones. Having a brand that's strong like Apple proved to be a better long-lasting relationship with customers, seriously, because it allows you to sell other products at a premium. Everything that Apple sells is expensive. It's not a cheap brand, and that's part of the appeal. And that's similar to Tesla. They've built such a strong brand. Now they can sell expensive tech, expensive cars. They don't have to just focus on selling cheap cars. They can have that option, but also have a more expensive option open. And Lucid needs a support company. They need a parent company that can support them through these difficult times. Kind of like the situation we have with Polestar, Volvo, and Geely. Polestar is owned by Volvo and Geely, and those companies, Volvo and Geely, they support Polestar. They just recently invested 1.6 billion into Polestar. And this is to continue for Polestar to continue building vehicles and to be successful. And Volvo and Geely understands this. They understand it well, and they continue to invest and to develop Polestar into its own unique brand. Someone needs to do the same for Lucid, but at the moment, there's no one except for the Saudi investment fund. But I believe a parent company, an automaker, would be perfect for Lucid. I don't know, but I can think of so many. Now, this is the share. This is where it closed at yesterday. It's quite incredible, $10.50, 17.8 billion in market cap. We won't do much on this analysis because we know that since the buyout rumors have increased the price. So this is the Lucid share. We won't do much on it, but this was the closing price yesterday, just above $11. Very impressive. But we know since the buyout rumors have come in full strong, we know that the price have been going a bit wild. Previously to this, the price was just around $9. This puts a market cap around $20 billion for Lucid. And I can assure you that there's other companies out there that are less valuable, that are delivering way more vehicles like NIO and Polestar. But as for the share, it looks like based on the rumors, the shares are still staying strong because no one really knows what's going to happen right now. Until these rumors are confirmed or denied, we probably won't see a big shakeup in the share price. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, subscribe, and I'll see you in our next video.